we need to talk about the growing controversy around e.l.f. cosmetics because the situation is messier than it looks. On the surface, the brand seems successful: affordable makeup, trendy partnerships, and constant buzz online. But behind the scenes, e.l.f. has been facing one problem after another. Confusing business decisions, questionable marketing, and customer complaints are piling up. And ever since they partnered with Hailey Bieber, the spotlight on these issues has gotten even brighter. Rumors, criticism, and complaints about products have people wondering if the brand is starting to lose control. The drama really intensified when news broke about a billion-dollar deal between e.l.f. and Hailey Bieber's skincare brand Rhode. At first glance, it looked huge, the kind of deal that could shake up the beauty industry. But the more people looked into it, the more questions arose. Shortly after, e.l.f. released a campaign featuring comedian Matt Rife, who has been criticized in the past for making jokes about domestic violence. That decision upset a lot of customers, especially women who felt hurt and offended. On top of that, more people have been reporting skin reactions, breakouts, and rashes from e.l.f. products. The combination of these issues is creating a storm of bad press, and many customers are reconsidering their loyalty to the brand. So what's really going on with e.l.f.? Why spend $1 billion on a celebrity brand and then act like the celebrity doesn't matter? And why make choices that clash with the values the company has built its reputation on? Something doesn't add up, and it's worth digging into the details. Let's start with the billion-dollar deal with Hailey Bieber. At first, it looked like she had scored a life-changing payday. Headlines made it seem like Hailey became a billionaire overnight. Fans celebrated, comparisons to other beauty moguls popped up online, and social media couldn't stop talking about it. But the truth is more complicated. Rhode wasn't Hailey's solo project. It has 3 co-founders. She's the face of the brand, but the billion-dollar valuation didn't mean she received all the money. Reports suggest the payout was closer to $800 million, which still had to be divided among the partners and taxed by California. In the end, her personal share was much smaller than the public assumed. Yes, it was enough for her to cover Justin Bieber's debt to Scooter Braun, but it didn't make her an instant billionaire. That raised even more questions. Why did e.l.f. pick Rhode out of all the beauty brands on the market? Was it strategy, luck, or a move for quick attention? Whatever the reason, the deal gave Rhode a big boost. But it also tied e.l.f. to Hailey in a very public way, which makes it even stranger that the company barely acknowledges her. If e.l.f. was truly excited about the partnership, you'd expect them to feature Hailey everywhere, on Instagram, in campaigns, and across social media. But that hasn't happened. e.l.f. doesn't even follow Hailey on Instagram, or Rhode either. And it's not like they barely follow anyone. They follow Alicia Keys, her beauty brand, and even fast food chains like Chipotle and Dunkin' Donuts. Not following the celebrity they invested nearly $1 billion in doesn't just seem odd. It feels deliberate. Fans have noticed and are starting to speculate that something behind the scenes isn't right. Some even think e.l.f. may already regret the Rhode deal. The situation is starting to look similar to Kylie Jenner's controversial sale of her beauty brand to Coty. Initially celebrated as a billionaire, Kylie later had her title questioned by Forbes when the numbers didn't add up. Now people are drawing comparisons between that situation and e.l.f.'s billion-dollar move with Hailey. To make matters worse, e.l.f.'s stock hasn't been performing well this year. Insiders say the Rhode deal alone isn't enough to reverse the company's slump. Normally, a major purchase like this would be celebrated with campaigns, ads, and non-stop promotions. But e.l.f. has been quiet, offering no signs of pride or excitement about the partnership. For a brand that built its image on social media marketing, that silence speaks volumes. Then came another puzzling decision, featuring Matt Rife in a campaign. For those unfamiliar, Rife is a comedian criticized for sexist jokes, including ones about domestic violence. Choosing him to promote a makeup brand, especially one whose main audience is women, left many people shocked. Customers called out the campaign as tone-deaf and completely disconnected from e.l.f.'s audience. Think about it. e.l.f. markets itself as trendy, empowering, and socially aware, yet they put someone with a history of making fun of women front and center. It felt like a slap in the face to the very people who have supported the brand for years. Social media reaction was harsh, with countless users asking, why him of all people? To make the situation even more awkward, e.l.f. paired Matt Rife with drag queen Heidi N. Closet in a campaign meant to highlight inclusivity and affordability. Many people found the pairing forced and unnatural. It made some wonder if the company was trying to appear edgy or bold, or if they were just careless. The irony wasn't lost. How can a brand that claims to empower women feature a man known for offensive jokes and frame it as confidence and beauty? Overall, these moves gave the impression that e.l.f. is out of touch with its audience. Instead of strengthening their connection to customers, they've created distance. People are now questioning whether the brand truly stands for the values it promotes. And once trust is broken, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. At this point, the issues with e.l.f. cosmetics go far beyond a single bad campaign or a questionable business move. It's a pattern of decisions that makes people wonder if the company even knows where it's headed. Ignoring Hailey Bieber after buying her brand, promoting a comedian with a history of offensive jokes, staying quiet while customers complain about skin reactions, these missteps make the brand seem lost. If this keeps up, The company that once prided itself on being affordable and forward-thinking could lose the very fans who built its success. Online, people couldn't help but notice the irony. Some joked that the people with the most fillers in their face are always the ones throwing the most shade. When the Matt Rife campaign dropped, backlash was immediate. One viral comment summed it up. "You didn't have the budget for a comedian who doesn't joke about abuse? Out of all the talent out there, you picked him?" That line perfectly captured the general reaction. Shock, disappointment, and disbelief spread like wildfire. Within hours, the ad had become one of the most criticized moves in e.l.f.'s history. What made it worse was how it seemed no one inside the company paused to ask, "Is this really a good look?" It felt like they were chasing edgy, risky energy, the kind brands sometimes get from controversial celebrities. Sometimes it works, sometimes it backfires. This time, it backfired spectacularly. Realizing the outrage was massive, e.l.f. scrambled to issue an apology. They wrote, "You know us, we're always listening." This campaign was meant to humorously spotlight beauty and justice. "We understand we missed the mark with our community." But for many fans, that apology didn't fix anything. The ad was pulled, and the parody Elfino and Scarman law firm concept was quietly dropped. The move spoke for itself. The brand knew it had crossed a line and was trying to erase the evidence fast. The issue is simple. Women don't want to buy makeup promoted by someone who makes light of domestic violence. The idea of pairing a beauty brand with someone who cracks black eye jokes isn't bold. It's offensive. And if e.l.f. thought Matt Rife would help them recover, they were wrong. His own apology came off as sarcastic, almost mocking the very people who were upset. Fans saw it as disrespectful and dismissed it, reinforcing the controversy instead of calming it. Matt also brought more attention to himself outside the campaign. People noticed changes in his appearance over time, suspecting cosmetic procedures. Online, fans jokingly called it the LA10 treatment, a polished, sculpted look. But instead of laughing it off, Matt got defensive. Anytime someone hinted at surgery, he fired back on Instagram, sometimes aggressively, warning people that lying about medical history is illegal. That defensiveness didn't help. It made him seem insecure, and people picked up on it. Even vague jokes from others, not directed at him, would trigger angry responses. Fans labeled it whiny energy, which only fueled the fire. Instead of focusing on his comedy or promoting e.l.f., Matt became part of the chaos surrounding the brand. What was supposed to be a campaign to boost e.l.f. ended up highlighting more controversy. But e.l.f.'s troubles don't stop with questionable marketing. Behind the scenes, the company has faced serious controversies that most customers never hear about. One shocking example involved North Korea. Reports showed that e.l.f. imported over 150 shipments of false eyelash kits containing materials traced back to the country. This is a major problem since the US bans trade with North Korea. Somehow, banned materials slipped in through suppliers in China, and e.l.f. got caught in the middle. For a beauty brand, this is dangerous. It isn't just a legal issue, it raises questions about safety. If the company isn't fully aware of where its materials come from, how can customers trust what's in their products? Regulations exist for a reason, to prevent unsafe or contaminated ingredients. After the news broke, people began questioning whether e.l.f. was paying attention to sourcing or just chasing the cheapest deals. Then there's the cruelty-free claim. e.l.f. has long advertised that it doesn't test on animals, but in China, animal testing has historically been required for cosmetics sold there. That raises questions. How can a brand claim to be cruelty-free in one market while navigating rules in another where testing on animals is mandatory? Critics argue the label might be more about marketing than genuine ethics. The controversy deepens with past reports that dog fur was being collected and sold for cosmetic brushes and false eyelashes. While e.l.f. wasn't directly accused of doing this, industry ties fueled suspicion. In 2016, the company announced it had switched entirely to synthetic fibers. Some wondered if this was a genuine ethical decision, or just a way to bury bad press before it spread further. The bigger picture is clear. e.l.f. is a business built for profit. Favorite products may feel affordable and reliable, but the company's priority isn't the customer's safety or health. It's margins and cost-cutting. Cheap materials, cheap labor, questionable sourcing, then sold at high markups. That $10 mascara in your bag probably cost the company less than 50 cents to make. That's the reality of the business model. Customers are starting to realize that e.l.f.'s affordable makeup image might just be a cover for a company willing to cut corners to grow its empire. Every time another controversy comes up, the polished image cracks a little more. One example is e.l.f.'s attempt to break into the gaming world on Twitch. On paper, it seemed smart. Partner with streamers, hand out products, and connect with a younger audience. But fans quickly noticed problems. The lineup wasn't diverse. Most creators weren't big names in beauty or gaming, and it felt like the company just threw money at whoever was available without thinking if they actually fit e.l.f.'s brand. Viewers called it out immediately. Instead of responding quickly, e.l.f. stayed silent for weeks. By the time an apology came, the damage was done. Fans felt ignored, and many said the campaign showed the company cared more about sales than real inclusion. One person summed it up perfectly. "Watching a company I loved ignore diversity for publicity is heartbreaking." People online began questioning who was making these decisions, especially when it came to representation reputation and community connection. Then came the Mean Girls reboot campaign. Instead of subtle product placement, e.l.f.'s neon logos and lip oils stuck out like sore thumbs. Fans joked that Regina George, a character all about luxury, would never use a budget lip product. The promo felt cheap, clashed with the movie's vibe, and turned a beloved film into what many called a 2-hour commercial. In 2024, e.l.f. repeated the same mistake with the corpse paint palette in partnership with Liquid Death. The coffin-shaped makeup set could have been a hit with goth and emo creators, but e.l.f. sent it to influencers who had no connection to that world. Fans and creators alike were upset, calling out the company for ignoring the people who actually live and breathe that aesthetic. Critics pointed out a bigger problem. e.l.f. chases mainstream clout instead of building authentic relationships with the communities it tries to celebrate. Marketing missteps weren't the only problem. In 2025, e.l.f. faced a class action lawsuit in California over slack fill, which is when packaging looks bigger than it actually is. Lead plaintiff Geneva Gonzalez claimed products like exfoliants and lip stains came in oversized containers designed to mislead customers about the amount inside. If the court sides with her, it could be another major hit to e.l.f.'s reputation. The brand has also leaned heavily on dupes, cheaper versions of high-end products. Some fans appreciate the accessibility, but others see it as lazy, copying other brands instead of innovating. TikTok loves comparing e.l.f. products to luxury lines, but Reddit threads are full of complaints about breakouts, skin irritation, and poor quality. Many customers blame cheap production and questionable supply chains. e.l.f.'s formulas often use low-cost silicones that can clog pores and cause acne. One creator showed her skin go from clear to full of breakouts after using e.l.f., which cleared up once she stopped. Others complain about flimsy packaging, broken pumps, or bottles that seem half-empty. One frustrated customer said simply, "e.l.f. products don't do anything for me." So where does that leave the brand? Between marketing blunders, lawsuits, copying luxury products, and product issues, e.l.f.'s reputation has taken a hit. What was once seen as an affordable, inclusive brand is now criticized for chasing clout, cutting corners, and disappointing the fans who built it up. From the Hailey Bieber billion-dollar collab to the Matt Rife campaign Backlash, e.l.f. has been in non-stop drama. And judging by the way things are going, it doesn't look like the controversies are slowing down anytime soon. So what do you think? Are fans being too harsh? Or is e.l.f. really spiraling? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.